Hello my friends all over the world, wherever you are. Today I'm going to make a juice formula with one of my favorite green vegetables, French sorrel, which will not only cleanse every gland in your body, but also tastes very sweet. But before I show you the rest of my ingredients, I want to remind you that I sell improved Norwalk juicers and the premium Whole Health Foundation model juicer. And if you're looking to buy one, please give me a phone call. If you already own a Norwalk juicer, I sell the parts that will upgrade the juicer to be just as good as a Whole Health Foundation premium juicer. Well, let's look at the rest of my ingredients. Today's formula is going to be mostly French sorrel, some beets with their tops, ginger, 1 whole head of garlic, 140 grams of turmeric, and about 12 pounds of carrots. So let's make some juice, and I'll start with my greens. Now here's the last of my French sorrel. Now I want to remind you that whenever your motor is working hard, clean your grid, and you might also want to check your cutter, especially when you're using very high fiber produce like celery or greens or beet tops. So let's do that now. Let's check the cutter. And yes, we have a lot of fiber on there, so we'll clean that off. And because the temperature is high, we'll put in 3 more ice cubes, 3 or 4. We'll put a couple more ice cubes because we're up to 27 degrees. Now I'm going to feed through the rest of my beets. And remember, beet tops are very fibrous, so we'll have to clean the grid often and put in ice cubes often. Now you see my motor's working hard, so I'm going to clean the grid. Now remind you, when you're doing beet tops, they're very, very fibrous, so you need to clean your grid often. And later I might even check my cutter again. So let's check the cutter again. And as I suspected, a lot of fiber. Okay, we'll put that together. And more beets. More ice cubes to cool down the cutter, and then we'll do our carrots. One of the nice things about using gloves when you're shredding produce is you can mix without worrying about dirtying your hands or contaminating your juice. So I'm going to mix this up, the beets and the greens, before I do my carrots. Now for my carrots, and when you have small carrots like I do here, you can reverse them and put several through at a time. small carrots. Rotate your bowl. Another handful of small carrots. Now here's the last of my carrots. And again, I want to point out the benefit of this front-loading feed tube. I can see in here, and it looks like most of the produce is shred, but to be sure, I'm going to put a little bit of pulp in there, and I'm going to force whatever's in there through so everything is shred. Next, I'm going to clean my grid and my grid holder, my cutter, and the feed tube. Mix the rest of my produce and make some juice. The next step, of course, is to thoroughly mix your produce. And I have found if you rotate the bowl in both directions, you get a perfect mix. Whenever there's carrots in your green mix, it will not stick to your cloth. If you don't have carrots in your mix, you will need to use bamboo liners. Now 2 more cloths in the press. Centered left to right, very important. Centered front to back, all the way back, and back it off a little bit. And because we have puddling in the collection and folding bowl, I'm going to pour this into the collection bowl very, very carefully. As I mentioned before, the first time I did that, I got it all over my countertop because I was in too much of a hurry. And what a mess that was to clean up. So I'm going to mix this with the dry pulp and the wet pulp. Hopefully we won't have to do the alternate 6 cloth less work method by putting it back in the bowl. So 2 scoops. Now this patty is getting very thick, so maybe next time we'll put 1 scoop all the way back. Yes, it's getting very, very thick. I think I'll put 1 scoop on this. It's very important to be able to fit it in there. You don't want to have to struggle. Flatten that, set it aside. This goes forward, that goes over. The spent cloths go on top. 2 more cloths in the tray, centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back, back it off a little bit, and continue. Now I've pressed all of my juice, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to repackage this spent pulp and press it again and measure it in a measuring beaker to see how much more juice we can get using the Whole Health Foundation model juicer with the premium bottom plate. And watch my folding technique. What I'm going to do here is fold this under 2 or 3 times, as many times as you can get it, to minimize slippage, and we'll do that in both directions. Now the nutrients you get in your last 10% of your pressing are the most valuable nutrients and the most healing nutrients. You might call them micronutrients. So we'll press all of these cloths, or fold all these cloths I should say. Now as you can see, I've repackaged all of the spent pulp into 3 double packets, and I'm going to use a measuring beaker to measure how much more juice I can get using the Whole Health Foundation premium model with that solid bottom plate. Normally I get over 10% more, but we'll see how much we get this time. It's very important to have this in the center, from left to right, front to back. Check it. Very, very important. All the way back. And when I get juice flow, I'm going to back it off a little bit until I get good traction in between. And That's that all the way. Well, so far there's 4 ounces from just that one packet. Wow. As long as there's a steady flow, you can leave it up indefinitely. Now there we have droplets. So we'll back that off and put in 2 more cloths full of pulp, repackaged pulp. And again, very important to be in the center, left to right, front to back, all the way back. When we get juice flow, we'll back it off a bit. Ooh, we almost missed it. Well, so far we have 17 ounces. That's more than 1 full bottle. And we're pressing more. I think we're going to get over 18 ounces. Yes, we are. This container is already full, so I'm not going to press the whole thing. I'm going to back this off, put this into the collection container, and press later the rest of it. So we'll dump this and continue pressing. Now what I've done is I've repackaged these a second time because the patties were too thick and they spread out too much. So there's an extra 3 ounces of juice. An extra 4 ounces. So that's 18, 22 ounces of juice. I could get more, but now I've topped off all of these bottles with distilled water so that they're just overflowing. The key to long life in the refrigerator is to top off your bottle so there's no air in the bottle whatsoever. So the next step will be to cap off these bottles, put them in the fridge, and we'll do a taste test. Well, my friends, as you can see, we have 5, 10, 12 bottles of juice, and more than 1, maybe 1.5 of these was from pressing the already spent pulp using a Whole Health Foundation premium model juicer. And I have enough for a taste test. So let's do a taste test. Alright, my friends, I'm here with a new resident, Ainsley, at Whole Health Foundation, and we're going to taste this juice together and give you our impressions. Here's to your health.
To yours.
You know, the French sorrel in the juice, not only is it a green, greens usually make juice bitter. French sorrel makes it sweet. And the nice thing about French sorrel is it cleanses every gland in your body.
It's very light. It feels light.
It has garlic, ginger, turmeric, a lot of French sorrel, beets, and carrots. That's it. Well, here's to your health, my friends. I hope you like what you see. And if you do, please give me a phone call at 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. See you in the next video.
Cheers.
Cheers. I love a juice with French sorrel in it.